work his way through the field. Bobby, you're in the car. We're about ready to go. How do you feel?
I'm ready to go. I tell you, we just get this thing underway, stay out of trouble here and see what we can do. But we're going to try to put on a good show for these fans and everybody back home and hope we can pull this thing off for everybody.
6 poles and 20 races, but he comes from the back of the field heading toward the front where John Kernan is standing by.
And the man that Bobby Bowser is chasing, Andy Hillenberg, will start from the 10th position. He has only a 5-point advantage over Bowser in the race for the championship. You're strapped in, Andy. What are you feeling right now?
A little bit of relief, actually, that we're going to get this thing started and get out there on the racetrack and let her rip, basically.
How about the nerves?
I'm doing okay now. I mean, once you get in this racing seat and get your helmet on, it for me anyway, it calms me down a little bit. So I'm looking forward to the next couple hours.
Well, there you have it. He's calmed down, ready to go and win his first national championship, Jerry.
Thank you, John. It is the most competitive field in ARCA history. 42 cars, the closest qualifying, the most competitive they've had in 43 years of competition. And it is the tightest point battle in ARCA history, just 5 points, as we said, separating those two guys. But you got to wonder. Andy Hillenberg said, I'm calming down a little bit. If you read the papers this week or been reading what he's been saying about this championship, he says, I want it to be over. Here is a young man who not only is the point leader, he is a rookie in ARCA competition. Got to wonder what he's feeling down on his stomach, but who better to answer that question than two guys who won championships? Here's Ned and Benny.
And Benny, you went through an ARCA championship one time.
I know exactly. No, I don't. I really don't, because in 1968, I was involved in my first championship battle. It was an ARCA championship, and I won the championship. I went to Pennsboro, West Virginia, half-mile dirt track, and there was probably 2,000 or 3,000 people there. I was as nervous as I could possibly be. Hillenberg today, in front of, I don't know how many thousand people are here, but a national television audience trying to win a championship. Ned, he's got to be just berserk by now.
Yeah, but you know, even he's a rookie, he seemed to learn pretty quick. I was impressed with the fact that when he got in that race car, you know, the nervousness seemed to go away. And it's amazing what that seat of that race car can do for an individual and those nerves and your total system. When you crawl in there, it just, you know, it's a different world there. And he's caught on pretty quick. I've heard they've fired the engines down there, so let's go back to the pits and Bill Wimmer.
Well, a momentary scare down here, but they just ran up to Bobby Bowser's car, but the crew came running back. I'm going to head over here and talk to his crew chief and make sure we've got everything okay. Well, he's going to talk to his crew, so we'll find out and then get it back up to you guys. But a momentary scare for Bobby Bowser sitting on the grid.
Bobby told us a moment ago this is not a good racetrack. He has never had good luck here in Atlanta. In fact, he lost his qualifying engine yesterday and was 43rd after first day qualifying. So he's lucky to even get in the field. We'll come back to the start in just a moment.
A decade ago, Suzuki unleashed the original GSXR. It created a new category of motorcycles. Win after win, time after time. We never stopped refining. And now the time has come again. The all-new GSXR 750 is finally here. Because something this fast can't be rushed.
This is Dale Jarrett's NASCAR. You can't get his engine, you can't get his tires, but you can get his motor oil. Texaco Havoline Formula 3. It's formulated to control volatility and fight oil vaporization. It provides complete protection, and it's the exact same Havoline you can buy right off the shelf, which, by the way, is a heck of a lot easier.
Add more life to your car, take it to the stars.
Can a credit card make you unique? Actually, it just might. You see, your MasterCard is meant for you and you alone. Even if someone steals it, you don't have to worry about a thing. Just call right away and cancel it. So even if someone does manage to charge something to you, you won't pay a cent. We may even be able to get you a new card the next day, which ought to give you some peace of mind. And that's certainly a unique feeling. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
Time for a new cobalt blue bench-style front seat cover for your 78 Mercury Zephyr? Try to find that puppy at your everyday auto parts store. Welcome to Pep Boys, one of the biggest parts stores ever, with thousands more parts and accessories for more cars. More seat covers, floor mats, additives, and things smaller stores just can't fit. And, of course, more name brand parts with lifetime warranties and a low price guarantee. Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the field of 42 has been given the command, and now they roll off behind the safety car as we get set. Our speedball coverage of the ARCA General Tire Hoosier 500 is being brought to you by Texaco Havoline Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
And also by Suzuki, the ride you've been waiting for and the finances to get it. And by the NASCAR Story. To order, call 1-800-71-NASCAR. There we see all the cars as they have left pit road, and Ned, the racetrack looks pretty good.
Yeah, the racetrack looks like it's in good shape. They had a lot of vehicles out there drying, but also the wind picked up, and that helped to dry the racetrack as well. Not going to be too good for the drivers out there, but certainly helped to dry the racetrack.
And there we see the new grandstand that they've built here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
They're always improving things here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Take a look at the grandstands back there, and you see the cars lined up behind the safety vehicle. We told you it's the most competitive field in ARCA Bondo Marhide Series history. Take a look. Mike Skinner, the top 6 cars broke the track record, including Skinner in a Chevrolet, 30.307 seconds, 180.790 miles per hour. There's Loy Allen, Jeremy Mayfield, and Jimmy Horton, some awfully strong horses in those first 2 rows.
Many times we've come to the ARCA races, and certainly not demeaning to them at all, but we might see a couple of miles an hour difference in the speed of, say, the 10th place car and the guy on the pole. But it's very close, way on back through the field, so it should be a very competitive race.
And there we see the 2 cars, 2 drivers, Neil Whittemore back in 28th and Harris Devane in 30th. Both those drivers are battling for the Rookie of the Year. If Hillenberg doesn't win the championship, he will be the Rookie of the Year. If he does, those guys could be named Rookie of the Year.
And there's the car number 21, Bobby Boucher, back in 34th spot. He's a 2-time series champion. And there's the car number 50 on pit road. He's obviously having some trouble. Jerry Hill in the pits. That's Chevrolet Monte Carlo. They come in and are trying to changing the window net down there on the left side of the car.
That's the Opera window. That's a piece of plexiglass. It's like they were low on motor oil or something, or had too much oil in it. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but that's a piece of plexiglass behind the window net they're working on.
Take a look at our race analysis here today. We told you it was a 500-kilometer event. It's 311 miles, 204 laps. The pole speed, 180.790. That is a record here. The race record, 131.780. Pit window, 25 to 35 laps. The purse, it's a good one for ARCA competition here in Atlanta, $132,166. We might mention that pit window is because there will be a mandatory pit stop at lap 25.
Yeah, they can go farther than that on fuel. They can go about, 60 or 65 laps on fuel on this racetrack.
Now, we talked about the winds, and boy, they have really picked up. There is Doyle Ford and Hank Wetzel atop the flag stand. You 2 guys have driven these cars. As Bobby Boucher said, the wind will push you into one turn, but it can also be a little bit scary.
Well, right now, the wind is really blowing hard down the front straightaway. That's where the cars are right now. So look, they'll be going down in turn 1 probably 5-8 miles an hour faster than they've been going all week. So that's going to change the chassis when they get there. The cars going down the back straightaway will be slower than they have been, so they'll have to adjust for that. And you see the camera, the picture moving up and down? That's because the wind is moving our cameras.
And folks, these cars run between 190 and 200 miles an hour on these raceways here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, so the wind definitely affects you when you get up that kind of speed.
And that's the car of Tim Steele, the Coopersville, Michigan driver, the Simlink Ford. He is the former series champion back in 1993. He will start 9th today, and he's on a roll. He's won the last 2 in a row, but they've been on the short tracks at Salem and Winchester. He'd like to be able to get a speedway finish here, maybe a speedway win. I hear he's got tremendous plans for 1996. And here is Bob Hill from Story City, Iowa, former Busch Dirt All-Star Series champion. He's been at ARCA now for a couple of years, the Clement Chevrolet and Mack Chevrolet. Today's field, 42 cars, 15 Fords, 19 Chevys, and 5 Pontiacs.
Where's that Edsel? Oh, there's not an Edsel in this race, is there?
He'll actually have a car in the field. He loaned his car to Kevin Ray. In fact, at the first caution flag, Doug Reed will get in that car of Kevin Ray's and drive it. There's Brad Smith, David Hall, some of the others who didn't make it, Rick Hauser and Rick Shepard. Once again, this is the finale. This is where they're going to determine who the champion is, and it's the closest point battle in ARCA Series history. Hillenberg and Boucher, 5 points apart. Bob Shack still mathematically in it. You can get 220 points in a race here. He has a shot. Bob Hill and Frank Kimmel in the top 5.
And the flagman has given the field the signal. 1 lap to go, and they'll throw the green flag, and we will be racing.
Glad to have you with us. We told you that if you look at this racetrack about 10 o'clock this morning, no one would have given us a prayer of getting this race in because it was raining sideways and there were puddles probably you could up to the ankles. But that's drained. The rains have moved away. It is still somewhat overcast, but the fact that the winds have picked up, we're talking about the winds, has helped dry the racetrack.
Well, it has dried the track tremendously, Jerry, and the fans will be able to see a lot of empty seats in the grandstands, and the bad weather we've had here today is the reason for that. Fans are still filing in here as we get ready to start this race, but it was not much of a race day until just about less than an hour ago.
You look at Tim Steele as he intently looks ahead. Oh, there the 84 car has stopped.
That's Norm Benning out of Level Green, Pennsylvania. His Chevrolet scheduled to start back in 33rd spot. Apparently he's had somewhat of a problem.
That's going again. Now the car has started.
They have called off the green flag, though. They're waving the caution once again from the flagstead. There's a look at Doyle Ford and Hank Wetzel. They were concerned about getting the cars flying down into 1 and 2 with that car stalled. So you got to wonder if, with all the rain and wind, if maybe moisture doesn't play somewhat of a havoc with some of the ignitions.
I would think that would certainly be. We had a lot of trouble with our wiring on our TVs wiring this morning. Had some problems with the audio just because of the wet weather. We see Norm Benton has the car going again, but yes, wet weather is an enemy of electrical currents.
Take a look at this racetrack. It is 1.5 miles around, but that's a little bit deceiving because the front and back stretch, 1,320 feet, folks, that's 1/4 mile. And that means that each turn is a full half mile. Very steep and banked turns, 24 degrees. Straightaways banked at 5 degrees, but the turns are very sweeping. So if you don't handle in the corners here, you don't handle very well at all.
No, as a matter of fact, that's Bobby Hamilton's STP Pontiac, the Winston Cup car. I saw yesterday in the garage area, he has a brace for his head that is huge to try to help hold his head up during the 500-mile race, the Napa 500 here tomorrow.
You say he has a huge head or just a huge brace?
The brace is huge.
Okay.
There's a lot of strain and pressure on your neck muscles on a track like this where you have this much banking, 24 degrees of banking, and also that much centrifugal force for a 1/2 mile, as you said.
Speaking of huge, did you get to finish your sandwich a minute ago?
I did.
Okay. Well, we're going to have racing action for you fans. Exciting ARCA action. It's the finale. It's the most competitive field ever. It's the closest point battle ever. What more could you ask for? A championship weekend here at the beautiful Atlanta Motor Speedway. Glad to have you with us. John Kernan, Bill Weber, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, and yours truly, Jerry Punch, as they come screaming out of turn 4 for the green flag. Side, and now Skinner gets a bit of an advantage on the bottom of the racetrack, and he will lead Loy Allen out of turn 4 the first time by.
And there's Jimmy Horton in the 52 car. He's alongside Loy Allen. Looks to take second place. He will take it in turn 1.
Boy, Horton got a good start and just zipped right up there in second place in a hurry. Of course, he started in 4th place. He did pick up 2 positions, but sometimes 2 positions up front is hard to gain, and he did it on 1 lap.
And Loy Allen is going backwards as Joe Bessie. And here we come. The Jeremy Mayfield car, the red car, 98, is closed up on the back of Horton. I started to say that Jeremy Mayfield passed Loy Allen. Also, Joe Bessie, the 9, has now passed him. There we see Bob Hill go down and try to get on the inside of Jerry Bradbury. That's Bradbury in the yellow number 39, Bob Hill in the red 46.
And there comes Andy Hillenberg in the car number 11. That's the series point leader by a scant 5 points, who started back in 10th spot.
And Jeremy Mayfield has taken over second from Jimmy Horton. Now, the reason that Jeremy Mayfield in the RCA Ford, Dale Yarmer's car, the reason he's in this race, he said, we have not been racing that well. We've been qualifying well, but we need to work on a race setup And we're trying to use this 300 miles today to get that race set up now so we can be good tomorrow on the Napa 500.
Where he qualified in 5th place for the Napa 500.
That's Horton in 3rd spot, 52 car, left side of your screen. You see the red car, the RCA machine of Mayfield is 2nd. Horton is 3rd. The 9 car, Joe Bessie, former Busch North driver. And then back there, the car number 1 has started in 2nd spot, now being shown back in 5th position. That is Loy Allen.
Thompson, the black 66.
There's Bessie working on Horton.
Wow, and Loy Allen working on Bessie. And Thompson working on him.
Wait a minute, guys. You don't go 3 in a row, 3 wide into a windy turn.
Now, Mark Thompson's been there. Said, I've read this chapter before in this book. I'm going to back out and see how it ends.
Was that Tim Steele coming in between there?
He was right between those 2 cars, Ned.
Wow, what a move. Tim Steele in the number 16, red Ford.
We thought there might have been a problem with the 1 car at the start. He dropped back a little bit. John, how about it?
Well, Jerry, I just went up and checked with his crew. They tell me that Loy hasn't told him anything. In fact, it looks like Loy's running pretty well right now as he's trying to catch up to Jimmy Horton to make a pass as they head into turn number 1. They say no problem on the car right now. Maybe it just didn't feel good the first couple laps, or maybe Loy was just kind of feeling things out, because remember, the rubber on this racetrack has been all washed off, and Loy was up in that high groove, so maybe he just didn't feel very comfortable up there. Decided to back off and find an open spot.
Wow, did you see Thompson go blowing by Tim Steele as he go down the corner, and he scared Jimmy Horton so bad he lost 2 more spots.
I don't blame him for backing off.
Got a car smoking down in turn 1, down on the bottom of the racetrack, showing a puff of smoke and now slowing down. That's the car number 69. It's slowing down. That is Glenn Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Chicken Lounge Ford. And apparently they're smoking some chicken because the car is slowing down. It's on the inside. No caution. We are still under green here in the early laps, showing 7 laps of 2 and 4 in this 500-kilometer event.
Okay, here's Bobby Bowser in the car number 21. Well, trying to makes a good pass up on the outside. That's pretty aggressive, Benny, but he figured he was faster than the car number 77, which is being driven by Gary Weinberg.
Weinberg out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Bobby Boucher talked about the fact that he's never had any good luck here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's come here, he's won a championship, but he didn't do it by winning the race. Here back toward the front, and once again, there is Mayfield moving in now on our leader, Mike Skinner. Chevrolet is the 31, the Ford is the 86. Those are the front 2 here in the early laps. Skinner and Mayfield. One man who's won a championship, another one who would like to win one in the future in Winston Cup. Back with more from Atlanta in just a moment.
This is the Texaco Haviland stock car. And this is the Texaco Haviland Indy car. And while these cars run on special fuels, we figured it was still a good way to remind you that Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines give your car unsurpassed performance. And Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil and Texaco antifreeze coolant provide complete protection. But if we really wanted you to remember our name, maybe we should have sponsored something slower.
Smaller electrodes, more power. More electrodes, faster start.
Suddenly, everybody has a new spark plug idea promising instant higher performance. But one new plug's idea is higher performance that lasts. Introducing Autolite Double Platinum. Platinum on both sides of the gap for faster starts and more power every time. Platinum to platinum firing for guaranteed peak performance, long after other ideas have peaked out. Autolite Platinum and now Autolite Double Platinum. More precious metal for your precious metal.
Enter the ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, to win a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 30 or one of hundreds of other prizes.
God, I love football.
Watch this week's ESPN Sunday night NFL game between Houston and Kansas City.
Wow, look at that.
Call the 800 number displayed during the third quarter and answer a question about the game, or enter on ESPN Net Sports Zone.
I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing.
The ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in this ESPN program.
And the restart. The green flag flies on lap 24 after a 5-lap caution. And back up front is one of the drivers that did not pit, Bob Hill.
And we have got a general mess right there, Ned. How many abreast are they going to be?
Looks like about 4 or 5, but you got to get it down to at least 2 when you get in that corner.
Oh, Skinner comes diving in there, and Dale Whittemore goes up out of the way, knocks the guy out of the way, and wow.
I don't believe they made that.
That's exciting.
Oh, let me breathe a second, I'll talk. Here's 21 and 11. Those are the 2 guys in the championship hunt. That is Boucher, who pitted on the first round of pit stops, and then, of course, Hillenberg stood out the letter lap. He came in and pitted later.
So now he has a 15-point lead, right?
He got 10 points for leading a bonus lap. We'll see carry the 1. That's right, 15 points.
But Boucher is in front of him right now, so that's 5 points. So
okay, so it's 10 points.
Like I said, he's got a 10-point lead. Now, no, make it 15.
Yeah, now 15. That's right. And here comes L.W. Miller in the 39 car, so now make it 15 points. As Boucher loses another spot.
Andy Hillenberg, a rookie contender. He can't lose really either way. If he doesn't win the championship, he'll win the Rookie of the Year award.
And there we see the lead. There goes Skinner into second place. That's Ed Dixon in the 12 car, a car that he purchased from Kenny Schrader. And here it comes for the lead. Bob Hill in the Jim Dandy dog food car, and he loses the lead. Skinner goes by.
Boy, Mike Skinner made it look easy on the inside. Skinner out of Brattleboro, North Carolina, the racing champion Chevrolet.
I've watched him in the truck series this year. Of course, he won that championship. But boy, he just runs in and out that traffic. He don't mind sticking it in there.
He has been very, very impressive. Here we can see Tim Steele making a charge.
That is Scott Neal, the yellow car on the high side of the racetrack. He was being shown in second spot. Now he has been passed.
A number of those cars did not make pit stops.
Scott Neal, the yellow car, won a race in Salem, Indiana. That was his very first ARCA win.
Tim Steele now trying to make a move on Bob Hill, and it goes to the inside. Now we'll try it on the outside, but Hill will slam the door down the back stretch.
Steele has the fresher tires. Don't know how much of a difference that makes, but right now his car is going through the corners faster, and he makes the pass.
The engine in that 16 car is one of Ernie Elliott's engines, Bill's brother.
Got to wonder why possibly Bob Hill would not pit. Maybe we can check in with our pit guys. John, any idea?
Yeah, Jerry, just talked with his car owner, Larry Clement. Larry told me it was a bit of a misunderstanding. They were told by ARCA officials that this caution flag that we just had would take the place of the mandatory pit stop for tire checks on lap 25 that was planned. Under that mandatory stop at 25, you couldn't do anything to the car. You could just check the tires. So they thought that they couldn't change the tires. So that's why they didn't. So just a bit of a misunderstanding. Larry says they should be okay because they were showing excellent tire wear in all their practice runs.
Well, Johnny's hung on to third place so far, even with the worn tires. His tires are 18 laps more worn than the others who have pitted. But here is Mike Wallace, who won this race last November, and he is coming in a hurry. He tried to make a move inside of Mayfield and thought better of it.
And look how Tim Steele has run down Mike Skinner. He has come from about a second or a little more behind and has run him down in a hurry. That 16 Ford is wide. Last lap, he caught him going into turn 3 and looked like he was going to pass him. See how much he pulls up on him? Of course, he picks up the draft on the straightaways.
Jerry Skinner moves up the racetrack, and Steele was able to keep his right on the bottom of the racetrack. Now down in turn 1, about 195, 200 miles an hour. Bob Dodds in the 09 car.
And here's Mike Wallace, they trying to make a move inside of Bob Hill. That would be for third position. That is third, fourth, and fifth there. Hill, Wallace, and Mayfield.
Mike's car got a little bit loose there, and that's not abnormal when you get down to the inside of another car going into these turns. Sometimes it will get a little bit loose. He's going to drive her down in there again into this turn. Hill giving him plenty of room.
And Mike, this car been loose again.
He did.
Tell you what, Hill has been pretty impressive with those used tires, Ned.
Yes, he has. He just hangs right. He's giving them plenty of room down there. Here comes Wallace again, right up on his bumper. He's going to try to see if he can get totally up beside him going down the straightaway this time, and maybe drive on past him before he gets into that part of the turn where his car's been getting loose. Yeah, he's got it this time.
And there the slow car of Dodge comes in the mix. Jeremy Mayfield's going to have to back off.
Yeah, Mike Wallace just pulled away when Mayfield had to back off. So Mayfield still has Hill to deal with before he gets it back, has any chance to get back to Wallace.
And Scott Neal. The other 24 car pulled right alongside of Jeremy Mayfield.
There's Mike Wallace, who will win the Super Speedway Championship this year in ARCA. That's $10,000. His 3 wins all coming on the big tracks. And there are the leaders coming off turn 2. Skinner in car number 31, and behind him, Tim Steele. And as you said, that Steele ran him down, and the interval was about 3 car lengths, and that's where it stayed.
Yes. He's, I believe that maybe when he gets up there that close, that his car does some things different from what he was doing when he was running by himself. He probably loosened it up quite a bit.
Mike mentioned that Glenn Brewer has gone to the garage area. His car number 10, the CSR Lewandowski Chevrolet, former ARCA Rookie of the Year, having a call today.
And Glenn Brewer is getting married next Saturday night.
You don't say.
Yes, he is.
Congratulations to Glenn. Somebody his age getting married. Ain't that something? We're picking it. Glenn, he's in heavy traffic for the leaders. They come scooting by on the outside up in turn 3.
Now we see Del McCoward. He is right in front of the leader. And here comes Steele on the inside. Took a look on the inside. Couldn't make it.
Delma's already 1 lap down. Goes 2 laps down. Just out there having himself a big time.
Delma's 8th start this year in ARCA competition. His best finish at 10th at Texas back in '91.
And once again, Bobby Bowser is not that far in front of the leader. That's the leader. We're looking from inside Tim Steele's car. That's
made a spin over in turn 2.
And Loy Allen goes to the racetrack. Oh, 2 and 3 cars get involved. Ken Allen is involved. Horton goes very high.
Crashing.
Oh, my goodness. Says heavy contact, heavy impact out of turn 2. 1 car spinning, and 2 or 3 trying to stop Ned, and there was just almost full-speed impact.
Yeah, there was a white car that was just, it was sort of an innocent spin. But then a bunch of cars, yeah, that white car right there, that car number 62, Kurt Dickey, spun, and it's sort of a lazy spin as he came off of turn 2, and there was a bunch of cars that came up behind him, and they started hitting each other. They started slowing down, and it was a chain reaction type of a deal, and it got messy.
And there's Hillenberg came through very cleanly, but Benny, the Horton car took 1 whale of a lick.
And this guy right here, Ed Dixon, this summer in a sprint car, broke his right arm severely, crushed the bone. He asked the doctor, they made him a cast to come down and drive here, and the doctor said, okay, you can go drive, but you better not hit the wall. And folks, he has destroyed that car. I just hope and pray that his arm is okay.
Well, we can see him moving around in there, so that's good news as far as that part's concerned.
And that's a signal to the NASCAR safety crews. They tell you in the driver's meeting, you take the window net down if you're okay, so we know that the window net isn't down. We'll go to someone else first who may be not quite so fine.
I don't think I've ever seen a car any more torn up than Jimmy Horton's car is right there. Look at the rear end housing. It's out of the car. I mean, look at the left rear tire. Or is that somebody else's left rear tire? It looks like it's supposed to be under the back of that car, but it's 2 feet outside that car.
Looks like the whole housing has been shifted over about 3 or 4 feet. It looked like Horton was going to make it through. He was trying to go to the high side. Of course, that car is painted the same as the other car you were talking about, Benny, as far as colors. Let's look again, see if we can see exactly what might have happened.
There we see the 1 car. The 1 car, Loy Allen, goes down and spins because Scott Neal came down. Now, Allen goes back up. And there we see, oh, the car flipped over. The 52 car of turn, now he's back on his tire. Oh, and in the air he gets hit.
Wow.
He is off the ground and gets hit from beneath.
Man, oh, man.
And remember, Jimmy Horton's the driver that went out in Talladega a year or so ago. Look again.
And you can see him sliding along on the top, and then it's going to try to right itself, and here will come another car. There it rights itself, and another car comes along, as Jerry said, hits him underneath the car.
That was Ed Dixon, the 12 car that came along and ran under the 52 car of Horton.
Well, you just got to be thankful that Horton's car had turned back over before
the car number 12 came along.
Once again, we'll watch. There we see him on his roof. And here comes Dixon. This camera angle just staying on the 62 car. Man.
And that's the car that initially spun Kurt Dickey, the Canadian out of Windsor, Ontario, making his first super speedway start. Here's from the roof cam.
There's the spin that started the deal. Bob Hill goes by.
And here's the chain reaction back there. Scott Neal, Loy Allen going down on the inside and behind to the right of the screens where it all breaks loose.
That was Ken Allen in the 3 car that he and the 52 car of Horton hit the 62 about the same time. Oh, and that is unbelievable, Ned.
Wow, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a car up in there and get hit from the bottom side.
There's no wonder that the rear housing is...
Oh, yeah, had to just clean it out.
And it looks like they're trying their best to get Horton out of the car. I don't think he's out of the car yet.
Well, the way that car is folded up, it's going to take a little while to be able to get Jimmy out, so...
And Jimmy Horton is scheduled to drive tomorrow in the Napa 500 in Kenny Schrader's Winston Cup entry. There's a helmet. I saw a helmet, I believe. They're taking the roof. That's the jaws of life, and they're cutting the roof off the car. There we see the guy. They'll cut the roof. They'll also cut the roll cage so that they'll be able to go down inside the car and lift Jimmy Horton out.
There's the windshield coming off. Once again, Jimmy Horton, the 2-time winner here in Atlanta. He won this race here in the spring. He was the only multiple winner in the field, but that was not Jimmy's fault. He had nowhere to go. In fact, he had a car right against his rear bumper if he tried to slow down. Ken Allen was back there, and his car got sideways, rolled over, was righting itself back on its top as it was rolling back over. Then he is tagged by Ed Dixon.
Now that's as you see, that's Lexan. That's not glass. That's why it doesn't shatter. Now he'll take the jaws of life and cut the roll cage, the top loop out. That was big time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was really a hard crash.
So recapping once again, Kurt Dickey's Pontiac spinning over in lap 2. Canadian in his first super speedway. And then it all broke loose behind him. Here's real time. And then there are parts and pieces everywhere. And there's Ray Evernham, who is a very close friend of Jimmy Horton's and that crew waiting down near the infield care center. Of course, the crew chief of Jeff Gordon. And we'll give you some information as soon as we get it passed along to us, as we're under caution for a horrendous crash in turn 2. Back to Atlanta in just a moment.
Last year, over 1.5 million cars were stolen in the United States. That's one every 20 seconds. And when a thief is looking to steal a car, he's looking for one to drive away now. The fact is, all cars are targets for car theft. New cars may have a higher value, but older cars can bring in big cash for their parts. So if you're not using the club, you're inviting a thief to steal your car. Stop. Don't fall prey to car theft. Get the club. It's police-recommended anti-theft protection that's guaranteed for up to $1,500, and it works. Statistics show that the club is over 99% effective in reducing auto theft. Protect your vehicle from theft with the club. Now available in a variety of highly visible colors.
Let Winner International protect your family from harm with the Door Club home security device.
That's my error now. That's why I too.
I was in the stadium that day.
Were you really?
Yeah, my dad.
No, I met him.
Right by the pole. Never
He
forget.
was the quarterback when I started in 50 with the Colts. And one Monday night, he invited 3 of us over for chicken dinner. He said, but you got to bring the chicken.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now. Need antifreeze? At Pep Boys and Parts USA, we've got this and that and this and that. We have every major brand at everyday low prices, like this for only that. New temp for just $3.99 a gallon after mail-in rebate at all Pep Boys and Parts USA stores now.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Make a run to your participating General Tire retailer to enter the General Tire Run for the Sun Super Bowl sweepstakes. You can win hundreds of great football prizes, or even our grand prize, a trip for two to Super Bowl 30 in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Hurry in for your chance to win today.
Sooner or later, you'll own Generals.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, second caution flag today. The cars once again involved. You see the safety crew. Now that's the Ed Dixon car, number 12, being brought back to the garage area. The front of that car completely sheared away. His car actually went underneath the tumbling car of Jimmy Horton as Horton's car was coming back around.
I mean, the front bumper, it didn't even look like it didn't even touch the front bumper. Just cleaned the top of the hood, the radiator, all that other stuff. They're still trying to get Jimmy Horton out of his car. Caution flag came out on lap 38. We're now working lap 41. What are we working on now?
42, I believe.
42, yes.
We might mention that there's Kurt Dickey's 62 car that's just going by on the flatbed truck. His car spun. Again, the car's involved. Jimmy Horton in the 52, who they're still working to remove from the car. Ed Dixon, Kurt Dickey, and Ken Allen. Also involved cars that spun but were not damaged significantly. Loy Allen in the car number 1, and the open-wheel driver Dave Blaney in the car number 80.
I saw some damage on Mark Thompson's car, too, on the front of his car as he came into the pits a little bit ago, so apparently he bumped into something out there. He's still on the lead lap, however.
Now we see they finally have Horton out of the car, and they're taking him to the ambulance, putting him in the back, and they'll take him to the infield care center.
There's Atlanta South Rescue Squads as they're among the best in the business. Again, here's a look at what occurred just moments ago.
Well, the white car had spun up in front, and Loy Allen trying to dip down to the inside there, and there was nowhere for cars to go. They were coming in there so fast. There's the car that spun originally, the car number 62 of Kurt Dickey.
And he couldn't even get this car on the record straight. See this, half of it sitting on, half of it off.
And they are still trying to clean up some of the debris over in turns 2. We will pass along any information as soon as we have it on Jimmy Horton, as they still are trying to remove the AC Delco Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Back with more in a moment.
There is a magic within them, a legendary quality. They are men of miracles. Fly with them in this extraordinary new video, NBA Legacy, Living Legends to Rising Stars. You also get the officially licensed NBA team sweatshirt of your choice. Both the authentic sweatshirt and the video are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. NBA Legacy traces a line of superstars as greatness is passed from one generation to the next. You also get a great-looking heavyweight sweatshirt featuring the colorful logo of your favorite NBA team. No matter which team it is, it's free. When you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue, save over 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get NBA Legacy plus the team sweatshirt of your choice, both free from Sports Illustrated. It's a sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Mostly sunny skies today with crisp easterly winds. Expect a high near 52 degrees.
If you don't want to be stereotyped, don't be stereotypical. The Suzuki Intruder.
Today's Speed World coverage of the ARCA General Tire Hoosier 500 is being brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. And Under caution here once again. You see there's Bob Hill's car circulating on the racetrack as the ambulance has pulled into the infield care center where they will take Jimmy Horton, who was driving for Ken Schrader, Chevrolet Monte Carlo, heavily damaged in turn 2 after being struck by the car number 12, Ned Dixon. Here is the car number 21. A number of people have been on pit road, Ned.
Yeah, most of the leaders have been on pit road. As a matter of fact, he got caught and went a lap down just as they were coming back to the start-finish line to get a caution. We made mention of the fact that the leaders were coming up on Bowser, and apparently he slowed down to get through the wreck and all of that. And anyway, they came through and passed him as they came to start-finish line. So Bowser is a lap down now in the being shown in 20th position.
And Andy Hillenberg is competitive to the points leader in ARCA Barhide Bondo competition, is currently running 3rd. There we see, you talked about Thompson's damage, Ned. There we see the right rear is damaged on Mark Thompson's car.
Lucky might have gotten the Phoenix Air car slowed down a little bit and got tagged from behind as they're working on that car. He had run so well. He has Ernie Elliott horsepower. Ernie builds the motors in that car, so he has certainly shown a lot of strength.
Obviously, there's also some damage to the front of the car as well. We see him put some tape on the nose.
Let's check in with John Kernan. John?
Well, during this caution period, Jeremy Mayfield, who was among the leaders in this race early on, has been on and off pit road several times. The car developed a miss, so they have changed the battery. That did not solve the problem, so they've gone under the hood, and now they've determined, Tony Furr and the crew have determined that it might be a short in the electrical system. So we expect Jeremy to be back on pit road, and they're going to try and check and see if they can get that thing fixed before we go back to green.
Andy Hillenberg has chosen to make his pit stop now because, once again, there's so much debris, so many pieces of metal over in turn 1. All these fellows ran around there. Now they've got to come in and change 4 tires to make sure they won't restart this race with a flat tire, a tire that's been punctured by a piece of debris.
Now, most of the other leaders had come in earlier, but Andy stayed out there to be sure that they had the racetrack clean before he came in.
And here's the 86 car, the RCA machine, Kelly Arbor Motorsports, and they're going up under the hood. Tony Furr and company taking a look there under the hood of Jeremy Mayfield's car.
And they're also looking back in the battery area to be sure all the cables are tight and no short back there anywhere.
Let's go to John Kernan. John?
Well, then in that left rear tire where you see 2 of the crewmen working, they didn't get the plate that covers the battery compartment on completely before Jeremy left the last time. So now they're working on that. They're working in the area of the alternator. They'll be checking that to make sure that that's not the problem. They also discussed disconnecting the tachometer to see if that would help you hear Jeremy revving the engine. They're just trying to get this problem sorted out because this team wanted to run this whole race today. As you had said, work on the setup, get a lot of track time, and hopefully have a chance to win it at the end of the day. But right now, boy, their backs are against the walls. Tony Furr and the crew are working, trying to get this miss sorted out. I see him shake the head. Maybe Tony has found the problem. Jeremy guns the engine. Here comes the pace car out of turn number 4. Lug nuts going on the left rear tire, making sure they're all tight. The jack drops. Mayfield will go back out on the race.
And in front of him, that car was stalled down there, and the driver pushed it all the way back on pit road.
We're back with a green flag start and more ARCA action after this. Stay with us.
Throw the Suzuki Katana 600 at a few of your favorite curves. You'll like how it feels, how it looks, and how much fun it is to ride. Pretty soon you'll realize that life will never be the same. The Suzuki Katana.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later.
Buy any 2 Fram filters and get your favorite officially licensed NFL team cap for $1.99.
Your car's engine was made for the open road. But that's not where it is day in and day out. Stop-and-go driving can kill an engine by creating deposits and wear that rob performance and shorten engine life. That's why you need the added protection of TM8, a new engine treatment from Valvoline. TM8 coats moving parts with 8 friction-fighting ingredients, including Teflon. So no matter where you are, your engine will run just like it's on the open road. TM8 from Valvoline, because driving is more stop than go.
Perfect timing back at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The pace car pulls away, and the green flag will wave once again. Lap 48. The last caution flag, second of the day, lasted 10 laps.
And L.W. Miller goes down in turn 1 as the leader of the race. Frank Kimmel is in second place. He is being challenged. There we see this come off the second corner. That's Kimmel on the outside. Mark Stahl in the 32 car. And there comes Mike Wallace in the 90. And look at these Dave Blaney cars drive up on the back bumper of Mike Wallace.
Blaney restarted this race in 5th position. Look at Wallace all the way down to the inside, tried to make it 3 deep. He decided that was not going to be a smart thing to do.
So he will follow Mark Stahl into turn 1. A little space getting between him and Stahl, and it's if he can run off in turn 2. Wallace's car hasn't been handling that well in the turns, but he is a bullet on the straightaway.
This is the first start for Dave Blaney in an ARCA race. Doing a great job here.
See the 31 car of Mike Skinner and Tim Steele both made pit stops, and they continue their battle as they try to work their way back through the field. The black number 9 is Joe Bessie, the AC Delco car.
Let's go to the pits and Bill Weber. Bill?
Okay, Jerry, back here at the medical center. Jeff Bodine just walked out of the medical center. He went in there with Ken Schrader and a couple other Winston Cup drivers. He told me as he left, Jimmy is okay. He is conscious. He has a swollen eye, but he's okay. And they're going to continue to examine him here inside the medical facility as for the time being. We'll wait for Ken Schrader to come out and see if we can't get another update for you in just a moment. With Jeff Bodine saying Jimmy is okay at this point, does have a swollen eye. Back up top.
God, is that great news.
Boy, that's wonderful news. For the kind of impact that he took over there in the car, somersaulted and flipped, that is wonderful news about Jimmy Horton. Thank you, Bill. And here is Mike Wallace. He gets a little good news himself. He goes underneath the Mark Stahl car and will take the lead away.
And you talk about the power in the 90 car. That's a Robert Yates engine.
They don't come much better than that.
No, they don't have much more horsepower than Robert Yates.
Speaking of coming, here's Skinner in the 31 car. Here's the car slowing down.
Hey, he was the leader. He was the leader of the race.
L.W. Miller had been shown as the leader. And he has slowed down in that Ford, the Ford Thunderbird, the Colt-sponsored Ford. Off the pace.
There we see the cars going down. Mike Wallace now has assumed the lead. There we see Mike Skinner. Here comes Skinner on the bottom, and, well, boys will make it look easy, but as they come off the corner, he was afraid he was going to get the car a little bit loose, so he wisely backed off. But still, he goes in turn 3 and takes the lead away.
And here is Tim Steele going by Blaney. Steele is the red car. He's back in 3rd spot. He goes by Dave Blaney, who's back in 4th position. Let's find out what happened to the car number 38. John Turner?
Well, I've just been told that possibly the throttle linkage fell off the carburetor. It's what the L.W. Miller has radioed his crew and thinks what might have happened. I'm headed up to the pits right now to find out. They're hoping that he can make it down to pit road into his pit stall so they can go under the hood and get the car fixed.
See Tim Steele in the 16 has taken over second place from Mike Wallace. There we see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Blaney, the yellow car, is 4th.
Yeah, Mike Wallace's car pushed up pretty bad coming off of turn 2. And let's go back to the pits and Bill Weber.
Okay, back here again outside the medical facility with Ray Everham. Ray, you were just inside. Can you give us an update on Jimmy?
They brought him in. He is awake. They told him to move his arms. They're going to observe him. You know, he's pretty beat up. He had a heck of a ride, but the doctor said that said he's going to be okay. They might keep him for observation overnight, but I did. He is awake. He told Kenny Schrader he was sorry for wrecking the car, and he is pretty beat up, but he is okay, and doctor says that everything's going to be okay.
Okay, Ray, thanks for stopping to talk to us, man. That is just fantastic news.
Absolutely incredible. That's how safe these cars are in ARCA and NASCAR. They built a very, very strict specifications so you can take that kind of impact and like Jimmy Horton, be able to walk away.
Boy, here is Steele hawking the car number 31 of Mike Skinner, trying to go down on the inside. He's pulled up there a couple of times. He might make the pass this time, Benny.
I tell you what, I am impressed with Tim Steele. He is doing a heck of a job. Now Skinner's going to dive back on the inside.
That's a Dale Earnhardt type move. That race car knows how to do that. Ooh! Man, I thought the front end broke loose just a little bit. They're supposed to be gone.
And they're side by side. It looks like Skinner's going to take it back.
Tim said, oh man, I worked so hard to get by him, and there he just got it all back in one corner. Now I got to do it again.
You're riding along with the roof cam there for Tim Steele, the SimLink Ford Thunderbird. SimLink is a computerized tool and die operator, right, Billy?
It's a software program for machines, tool and die machinery. You just plug that thing in and tell you what you want to do, and it does it.
Sort of like autopilot for a tool and die machine.
Exactly, exactly.
HS Die on the hood there. That is Harold Steele Die. Harold Steele is Tim's father. Owns that race car and racing team.
Once again, they come down the front straightaway. There they go, underneath the start-finish line. These cars are... Oh, and there's a slower car right directly. Bill Whittemore in the 56. Man. I wonder if that scared Tim Steele as bad as it did me.
Well, this might scare him a little bit. Here's Mike Wallace back on the inside. Where'd he come from?
Where'd he come from, man?
I don't know. He got a run on it when they backed off for that slower car there, I guess. And now here comes Steele right back by Wallace.
Now Tim knows that Wallace's car pushes up in the corners, but he says down the straightaways, I got to watch for this guy. But on the corners, I know he's having a little trouble keeping the car on the bottom of the racetrack.
You can see there that Steele pulls away a little bit in the turn.
And Dave Blaney is hanging on, Ned.
He is.
That yellow car's still there.
Doing a great job.
Blaney, the 1995 World of Outlaws champion out of Portland, Ohio. He's in the yellow car. Now, what about our series point leader, Andy Hillenberg? Where is he being shown back in the field?
Right now, he's in 17th spot. And Bobby Bowser, his competitor, is in 21st.
And Bowser's a lap down.
Yes. They both talked about staying on the lead lap. And Hillenberg has been able to do that. As we see Mark Thompson go by on the outside, Hillenberg has been able to do that. But I guess that was Hillenberg passing Thompson, as a matter of fact.
Yes, Thompson running in the 16th position.
There's Bowser.
Trying to take it away.
The car number 21 you're talking about. He was in 21st spot, as you said, the lap down. Got caught in the pits on that caution flag. Couldn't quite get out. And how's that car running, Bill Weber?
Well, Jerry, they're struggling. You know, they had trouble in qualifying. We got one blowing up coming out of four. The 19 car down the front stretch. We'll see if they put out the caution. But they struggled in qualifying, and they started deep in the field. They lost a lap on that last caution right at the start-finish line. And they're not real happy with their situation. They're going to need a lot of luck for a championship in 1995.
Well, Stanton Barrett's car erupting an engine, and apparently, yes, the caution will come out for the third time a day. Doyle Ford there waving the yellow flag. There is Stanton Barrett's car, number 19.
Carrying the Operation Christmas child signs on his car. His dad, of course, Stan Barrett, very involved in the Christian mission, and they're going to take 5 of the largest airplanes in the world to Bosnia and other Far East countries before Christmas, and taking food and gifts to children in that part of the world. And he's carrying that on his car here today.
His dad, Stan, of course, had owned the land speed record. Set it Hal Needham's rocket car back years ago out at Bonneville, and now heavily involved in relief to some of the third world countries. That's Stanton Barrett bringing out the caution flag for the third time today as you ride along on the roof cam of Tim Steele. told you, Mike Skinner having a great day, set on the pole. This is his third start in ARCA. Back in 1990, he qualified 11th here. In 92, he finished 37th, driving for T. Dixon. Car owner out of Burlington, North Carolina.
And they chose not to pit that time. Well, Skinner came down pit road, so did Mike Wallace. Tim Steele decided to stay out. I wonder if that's wise strategy, Ned.
Well, that is interesting strategy. I assumed that they had checked their tires out before and they were okay, and decided, okay, we'd not give up any kind of track position. Of course,
and Mike Wallace just changed, put some gasoline in, and goes back on the racetrack. So no tire change. Neither did Skinner change tires, and Mike Wallace will pass Skinner in the pits. And they're changing, we see them obviously changing tires on the 80 car, the Dave Blaney automobile.
Well, that is interesting strategy on several of them apart.
And he stayed out. There's Tim Steele, the 1993 ARCA Series champion. After winning 2 in a row, would like to make it 3 in a row. What a way to finish the year here in 1995. Back with more from Atlanta in a moment.
Your car's engine was made for the open road. But that's not where it is day in and day out. Stop-and-go driving can kill an engine by creating deposits and wear that rob performance and shorten engine life. That's why you need the added protection of TM8, a new engine treatment from Valvoline. TM8 coats moving parts with 8 friction-fighting ingredients, including Teflon. So no matter where you are, your engine will run just like it's on the open road. TM8 from Valvoline. Because driving is more stop than go.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
I want more power.
I'd like better mileage.
Split fire doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. A 4.8% gain in mileage. With split fire, you'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You'll get more power and more mileage for your money back. You'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
My name's Glenn Jacobs, and I've been a PA here at Sports Center for about 3 months, and it's been really great.
You've embarrassed me on national TV.
I mean, I work long hours, sure, but I get a lot of exercise. I mean, it's really cool when one of those guys reads something I've written on the air.
Nice try, Sparky. Nice try. Maybe next time.
4 months ago, I was writing a paper about my idol, Craig Kilborn.
Gary?
Glenn?
Okay.
Here I am getting career advice from him.
2 words for you. Pizza, delivery.
It's incredible.
The NHL on ESPN2 returns tonight from the Great Western Forum in L.A. as the Pittsburgh Penguins take on Wayne Gretzky and the L.A. Kings. Live hockey tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. The Great Ones, Gretzky and Company. Tune in tonight at 10:30 p.m.
Bob Hill once again. The camera looking back at him. Jim Dandy Dog Food Automobile.
And here's Tim Steele, I should say. Tim Steele in the car number 16. In-car cameras on the Simlink Ford Thunderbird. Under caution for the 3rd time today here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We saw the Hoosier tire on the right sleeve of this car. All the ARCA competitors use the Hoosier racing tires.
And once again, the 2nd caution brought out by this violent impact in turn 2. 1 car spinning, Kurt Dickey, and there's Loy Allen, but to the right of your screen, it all broke loose. Kenny Allen, there is Jimmy Horton's car tumbling over, and watch for Ed Dixon's car number 12 to come in. This is Horton's car, flips back over. Here is Dixon's car, boom, just beneath Horton's Chevrolet Monte Carlo, flips it over, the entire rear end of the car flopping around. Now that's the bad news, the car is destroyed. The good news is Jimmy Horton has been taken to the infield care center.
And as you heard Ray Evernham tell Bill Ever a little bit ago, Jimmy, awake and alert, talking, appears to be remarkably bruised, but okay. Still working the third caution flag today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tim Steele being shown as our leader. We'll be back.
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful, like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, they know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Your car's engine was made for the open road. But that's not where it is day in and day out. Stop-and-go driving can kill an engine by creating deposits and wear that rob performance and shorten engine life. That's why you need the added protection of TM8, a new engine treatment from Valvoline. TM8 coats moving parts with 8 friction-fighting ingredients, including Teflon. So no matter where you are, your engine will run just like it's on the open road. TM8 from Valvoline, because driving is more stop than go.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Make a run to your participating General Tire retailer to enter the General Tire Run for the Sun Super Bowl sweepstakes. You can win hundreds of great football prizes or even our grand prize, a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 30 in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Hurry in for your chance to win today.
Sooner or later, you'll own Generals.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in this ESPN program. Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
You know, a lot of people ask me, how do those fabulous in-car cameras work? I tell them, no, it's not electronics. The reason you get to see those great pictures is because of sponsorship. The sponsorship that is like on Bob Hill's car today, the Jim Dandy Dog Food Company. And for this weekend only, they have come up with 3 specially scientifically engineered brands of dog food. For the dog that's long, lean, and fast, of course, we have Ned's Niblets. Now, if your dog is under any kind of medication, and that can be a concern for pet owners because medication can not mix well with food, well, we've got the line for that. It's the Dr. Punch line. This is food for fine, healthy dogs. But I tell you what, folks, if your dog is like my dog, Nicky, and he really doesn't care about calories or staying in shape or being healthy, then we got the perfect thing for the dog who likes to eat a lot and likes it to taste good. Benny's Buffet, food for hungry dogs.
Is he serious?
Oh, well, we forgot there's 2 of the brands that's coming out. Bill's Bits and Kernan's Kernels are coming out from the Jim Dandy folks. But that's exactly how those in-car cameras.
Hey, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the kind that are named after me, Kernan's Kernels.
Yes, sir.
Those are for the refined dog who has great taste.
Oh, of course.
I'm taking them home to feed my dog, okay?
They're cutting back on the per diem. John's headed for the hotel room. We're under caution at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back with more fun after this. Stay with us.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State. The intelligent oil for hard-working engines.
Now, take home a legend. Get an authentic autographed Superstar lithograph. A $30 value, just $7.50. See details on cases of 4x4 at your local supplier.
There is a magic within them, a legendary quality. They are men of miracles. Fly with them in this extraordinary new video, NBA Legacy, Living Legends to Rising Stars. You also get the officially licensed NBA team sweatshirt of your choice. Both the authentic sweatshirt and the video are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. NBA Legacy traces a line of superstars as greatness is passed from one generation to the next.
You also get a great-looking heavyweight sweatshirt featuring the colorful logo of your favorite NBA team. No matter which team it is, it's free. When you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue, save over 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get NBA Legacy, plus the team sweatshirt of your choice, both free from Sports Illustrated. It's a sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Now at Pep Boys, save $10 on one of our most powerful batteries, the Pro Start, just $39.99 after mail-in rebate. Get the power you need for only $39.99 at Pep Boys now.
The curtain's going up for another season of college hoops on ESPN. Tomorrow, the round ball season tips off with the preseason NIT, featuring the best and brightest of college basketball. At 7:30, the Manhattan Jaspers take on Bobby Crimmins and Georgia Tech in Atlanta. At 9:30, DePaul and Michigan square off in Ann Arbor. And in the nightcap, it's Weber State versus Fresno State at midnight. This year, be there at the beginning for a great hoop season on ESPN, where every game counts.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in this ESPN program. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway under caution once again for Mark Thompson's car that's spun out of turn 4 after some possible slight contact. And the car number 90 being pulled back up. And there is Thompson's car being pulled back to the garage area. And they are pushing the Mike Wallace car back up pit road. He's the guy who won this race last November. 3-time winner this year in ARCA competition. He will also join Mark Thompson in the garage area. Safety car leading Tim Steele around. We might mention Mike Wallace, by virtue of winning 3 Super Speedway events this year, will take the $10,000 Super Speedway challenge money that ARCA puts up for the driver who has the best finishes on the Super Speedways.
And Steele has chosen not to pit again, Jerry. The others made a pit stop during the last caution. Let's go to the pits with Bill Weber.
Okay, Mike Wallace is standing here. Obviously, disappointing day. You're done.
It's a real disappointing day. You know, 31-16 were a little quicker than us, but we thought we had some stuff for them in the long run. I guess must have blew a head gasket or something, you know, and just ended our day. We tried putting a bunch of water in it, wouldn't hold anything, and instead of destroying a piece and possibly hurting myself, you know, if the thing spun around and hit the wall or something, we just chose to quit. Didn't really want to. Hopefully got enough points to win that Speedway Challenge Series is what we're trying to do, and we'll see how it happens.
Yeah, well, I believe you have won that, and that's small consolation at this point.
Well, it is very small. It's not that big. You know, it pays decent money, but we come to win the race. We've had a disappointing weekend overall totally. Winston Cup second round qualifying got rained out. We blew a motor yesterday. Qualifying what seemed to be on a pretty good lap in a Heilig Myers Ford, and Klausner Furniture Industries. It's a bad way to end the season, but I'd like to take a minute and thank our sponsors, Klausner Furniture, Duron Paints, and Heilig Myers. We'll just come back in 96, hopefully tougher than ever, and win some races then.
Okay, they never gave up all year. You can sure say that for Mike Wallace and company.
No doubt about it. Here is our leader, a guy who was our leader down at the pit.
Yeah, I said he had not made a pit stop, but he did come in this time and is putting 4 tires on his car and heads back out. That should put him in position to finish the race, I believe, without making another pit stop.
Now, once again, this caution flag brought out by the Mark Thompson's car, spinning coming out of turn 4. He had been among the leaders and had made an unscheduled stop and lost a lap. Let's go back in and check with Bill.
Okay, Mark, you're okay. Not the finish you were hoping for.
No, it wasn't the finish we were hoping for. But the car ran real well while it was running. I think we've got a handle on how to set it up for this track. I thought it was a pretty nice race. We had an altercation early on when a guy crashed up ahead and got a sort of a chain reaction. Kind of damaged the nose and the tail.
You and the 9 car were going at it pretty good there for several laps as the green flag comes back out here in Atlanta.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, Mark Thompson's out, back up top.
Restart, lap 126. Remember, 204 make up this 500-kilometer event. And Joe Bessie pulls away as our leader with Mike Skinner in hot pursuit.
The 16 car, Tim Steele, who's been running with Mike Skinner all day long, made a pit stop, changing tires, so he's back in some heavy traffic. With the 9 car, Joe Bessie is the leader.
Bessie carried the Delco Remy America sponsorship on his Chevy Monte Carlo. $15 different winners here in 1995 out of the 20 events in ARCA competition. Boy, what a competitive series.
Here comes Skinner down on the inside. Boy, he just blows right by him coming off the turn, takes the lead. And there you see how far behind the third place car is.
That's Bob Hill in the car number 46. That is the red and yellow numeral Chevrolet.
And that's Tim Steele in the 16 car that's right behind and trying to take over that third spot.
Now, Tim came out in 8th position after his pit stop, so he has already moved back up to 4th. But Bob Hill has just stayed right up there amongst those leaders about all afternoon. Doing a good job.
How about that late pit stop on Tim Steele, John Kernan?
Well, Jerry, it was because they didn't have sticker tires mounted. They had some old tires from early in the race that had about 25, 30 laps on them. I just asked one of the Hoosier tire officials down on this end of pit road if they were having a shortage of tires. He says he's not really sure. The tires that went on Tim Steele's this time, they got from Mark Thompson's team, and they had to run them down here. But I noticed they had the number 33 on the tires already, so they must have originally belonged to the Harris Devane team. Tom Sokolowski, the crew chief, tells me that they've supposed to have one more set of tires headed down this way so they can use those fresh tires on their last pit stop. They can't go the rest of the distance on fuel with this last pit stop.
As you watch this battle for third spot, our AutoZone race recap will show you that our leader is Mike Skinner, has led 72 of 127 laps. There have been 14 lead changes. What a competitive race. 7 caution flights, 40 laps. The average speed, 107.459 miles per hour. Among the leaders, Mike Skinner, Tim Steele, L.W. Miller, Bob Hill, and Dave Blaney, along with others who have led like Joe Bessie, Mike Wallace, and our current point leader.
Oh, crash in turn 1. Doug Reed is spun, backed it in the fence between 1 and 2. And looks like right now it was a 1-car accident. Let me see Doug Reed.
That's along Lewis Ford. That Kevin Ray was listed as a starting driver. Indeed, Kevin Ray did start that car. And Doug Reed has climbed in after the first caution flag of the day. That was the car that's owned by Doug Reed's operation. They're loaning it to Kevin Ray to get in the field. And there was a driver change. That's why we tell you that Kevin Ray was the starting driver and Doug Reed in it. That's a spun a moment ago. Bringing out the 8th caution flag of the day in lap 132.
That's a break for Tim Steele because now he is able to close back up on Joe Bessie and the 31 car of Mike Skinner.
And they pulled away to a pretty good advantage. And there you can see the Reed car coming down off of the banking, had already spun around up there. And did he get a piece of the wall?
I think he touched it a little bit, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of contact, and that's very surprising because going in turn 1, you would think there'd be a lot of damage. We see right now that Steele is talking to the crew.
And we're under caution once again. They line up behind the safety car. We'll come back and sort it out, tell you who's leading and who's running where in a moment.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common, the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State. The intelligent oil for hard-working engines.
Now, take home a legend. Get an authentic autographed Superstar lithograph, a $30 value, just $7.50. See details on cases of 4x4 at your local supplier.
on the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Make a run to your participating General Tire retailer to enter the General Tire Run for the Sun Super Bowl sweepstakes. You could win hundreds of great football prizes or even our grand prize, a trip for two to Super Bowl 30 in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Hurry in for your chance to win today.
Sooner or later, you'll own Generals.
Back at Hampton, Georgia, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Looks like Baron von Racehoven or something. Got a little one of those old aviator leather helmets on. But I tell you what, on a day like today, when it's cool and the temperature is dropped and the wind's blowing, you'll take whatever you can take. You used to race with a helmet like that, didn't you, Benny?
Yeah, I had a ponytail just like that, too.
And I didn't see the earring, but we're talking about racing. We got a big one coming tomorrow on ESPN2. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 27,000 men and women representing 111 countries will run 26 miles. On course it'll end in Central Park, the world's largest marathon. Tomorrow morning, the New York City Marathon, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. 27,000 people running 26 miles.
You did say 27,000, didn't you?
27,000.
Men and women.
Men and women.
Man, I know that. Anyway, I won't get into it. I tell you what, some pretty good damage, Ned. He caught it pretty flat with the left side.
Yep, sure did. That's the car that spun, and the reason we're under caution at the moment.
That blue sky is wonderful to see, isn't it? Man.
We talked at the top of the show about the points battles. Chad, let's update you where these guys are running. Andy Hillenberg, who was the points leader, Ned, I believe he is the last car on the lead lap. And how about Bowser, car number 21?
Well, Bowser is 6 laps down, back in 16th position. And Hillenberg is in 8th position. So that's a 40-point spread right there, 5 points per position. So right now, the way they stand on the racetrack, Hillenberg would be 55 points ahead of him.
Hillenberg just made an entry on the pit road. We had him running in 8th spot.
And he still would be 8th because there's only 8 cars in the lead lap. There he is. The Budget Gourmet Chevrolet. Remember, he ran that Budget Gourmet on a Busch car a couple of years ago. And they went on to sponsor Jason Keller. There we see Bowser. We told, as Ned told you, 6 laps down. And he's getting a break, Ned. A lot of cars falling out. We saw the 66, the 90 car, Whittemore. All these cars, as they're falling out, it allows Bowser to move up in the grid. And right now, Hillenberg cannot stand to have anything go wrong with that automobile.
No, that's true. He's got to stay out there and keep running. There's still a lot of cars on the racetrack, about 20 cars on the racetrack. So.
And the sun is coming back out, and boy, look at the clouds have moved away. We had dark clouds and rain this morning and threatened a thunder shower in the afternoon. That's moved away. What a beautiful afternoon we've got in Hampton. It's got a little cooler, and the wind is not quite as bad. But
if you were outside with the wind blowing about 50 miles an hour at 50 degrees, you'd say, what a terrible day it is. Since you're in here to boot,
it's nice and cozy.
We'll have to talk to Weber and John Kernan in a second.
Lap 136, back to Green Flag Racing, and Mike Skinner would like to hang on and get a win.
We see the 16 car, the red car. That's Tim Steele. And Joe Bessie, the number 9. Mike Skinner in the black number 31.
Guys, as the car run up there in the top 5, we haven't said much about today. Blaze Alexander in car number 26, starting 22nd place. And hey, he's up there in 5th place, having a great run.
Young man, about 19 years old, out of Pennsylvania.
The Lisa Express, AutoGuard Chevrolet.
From Montoursville, PA, Blaze Alexander, young man doing a pretty impressive job. Staying out of trouble.
There he is, black number 26. There is a battle for second spot between Tim Steele.
Yeah, all 3 of the leaders are close together. Now remember, Steele has fresher tires than do those in front of him.
Looks like he's going to try Bessie on the inside. Can't make it this time.
Bessie
right again.
Bessie went a little high, and that opened the door for Tim Steele, and he just drove right under it.
Joe Bessie is just not getting off that 4th corner. We saw the 31 car Skinner passed him a few laps ago in that same move, so Joe had a little bit of trouble getting off that corner. But now let's see can Mike Skinner keep Tim Steele behind him?
Well, they've had some good battles already this afternoon. And I think we're shaping up for another one.
Ooh, the sun is, wow. The sun that we talked about, how it looks so good coming out, it doesn't look good to these drivers as they drive in turn 3 directly into that sun. We saw the glare from inside Tim Steele's car.
That's got to be frightening. What are you going in there, 175, 180 miles an hour?
No more than that. Over 190 or so.
My goodness, 190 miles an hour, and suddenly you're blind from the sun glaring on the windshield.
But watch this as he goes in the corner, drives into that sun.
Wow. Man, can't see much. You see the shadow of that car in front of you about the first thing.
I guess just me. I'm just sitting here watching it. 20 different ARCA Bondo Barhouse Series races here in Atlanta, and only 4 have been won from the pole. Skinner trying to make it 5. As you watch this battle back in the pack, 46, 26, and 80. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th. Bob Hill, back there with Blaze Alexander, and Dave Blaney.
There we see the face cam. Bob Hill as he cruises down the backstretch at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I think when Blaze Alexander tells his friends he kept Dave Blaney behind him.
I'm impressed with that young man. I agree with all these guys.
Blaze Alexander, his racing shop is up in Mooresville, North Carolina at the Mooresville Racing Complex.
Joe Bessie starting to feel like he wants to try to make another run up in that 2nd spot, the position he lost to Tim Steele about 4 laps ago. There is Steele's roof cam as you see Mike Skinner in front of him.
Bessie's staying right with him. He lost a couple of car lengths, but now he's pulled right back up on him.
There we see Dill Whittemore in the 56, still continuing on. And the 33 car is competitor for the Rookie of the Year. Harris Devane, once again, has been black flagged and sent to the garage for going too slow. So it appears, though, that the 56 car, Dill Whittemore, may in fact be the Rookie of the Year. We'll have to wait and see. There is a panel that also votes on it, so the vote will mean something. It may, in fact, give the championship, the Rookie Championship, to Harris Devane. We'll have to wait and see.
4th, 5th, and 6th, that battle.
And here's the 7th place car, number 11. That's Andy Hillenberg, and if he can just hang on, he will lock up a championship in the ARCA competition in his rookie year.
He's running out there by himself. That's what he needs to be doing right now. He doesn't need to be in there dicing with anyone or taking any chance of wrecking.
Here's 3 cars in there that are just so equal. If Tim Steele were to get in front right now, I think that the 31 car would be able to keep up with him as Tim Steele is keeping up with Mike Skinner. And Joe Bessie, once again, mayhem.
And Steele goes on the outside. Skinner went on the inside. Steele goes on the outside. Bessie goes on the outside. Bessie lost a little bit on that deal. The others got up there.
Was that Shane Doles that was slow on the... Man, oh man, that's so bad. He was running 8th, and he's slow coming off the 2nd corner. Looks like he's got some type of problem.
Less than 60 laps remain here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The ARCA General Tire Hoosier 500.
So now there are only 7 cars on the lead lap. And John Kernan pointed out that they still will have to make another pit stop at least for gas.
There's the old Clinton Gas Pontiac as he's slow on the apron of the racetrack.
Folks, that convenience store can be awfully proud of that young man from Shane from Georgia. Ray, Georgia, what a job he did. Looked like he had a tire going down or something.
Yeah, it looks like he might have broken a ball joint or flat tire or something with some damage to the right front or some problem in the right front. And meanwhile, Tim Steele getting racing again. There we see the right front tire. Oh, he's making contact with someone. And the right front tire, it's on fire.
Wow, there is.
He has lost a wheel bearing. And it is on fire, and he better stop quick. Stop one. Bill Weber, tell him to find some place to stop.
Benny, he's trying. He's rolled past his bit. His crew's chasing after him. The right front side of that car is all beat up, especially around the rear quarter panel. They've run down to the next pit. They're going to have to push him down this way. There's a man with a fire extinguisher out there, and they're going to use that to put out the fire and then push his car back up to his pit and then try and get him at least reasonably readjusted before going back out. But this could be the end of the day.
Now they've pushed it in the wall. Now they've got to try to push it forward so he can back it up again. Tough day for Shane.
Boy, he had no brakes. He couldn't get the car stopped. You see all the chemical being sprayed in there. Shane had a 6th-place finish at Pocono this year, so he was looking to improve on that. He was running 8th here, the final car on the lead lap when he had that problem, and is now in the pits. Our leader, car number 31, Mike Skinner, trying to become just the 5th driver in ARCA competition to win the season finale from the pole. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Make a run to your participating General Tire retailer to enter the General Tire Run for the Sun Super Bowl sweepstakes. You can win hundreds of great football prizes, or even our grand prize, a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 30 in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Hurry in for your chance to win today.
Sooner or later, you'll own Generals.
Coming up on SportsCenter, the Bulls and Magic clash in a battle of Eastern powers. The Rangers pay a visit to their old skipper. Would be a friendly one, and the big unit's big-time season pays off. SportsCenter at 11 Pacific.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, less than 55 laps to go in this 500-kilometer ARCA event. Car number 31, Mike Skinner, our pole sitter, his 3rd ARCA start. Trying to pick up a win. Tim Steele, 1993 ARCA champion. That's his roof, Ken. You're riding along with him in 2nd spot. And Joe Bessie has reeled him back in.
Yeah, he was about a half straightaway behind, but he's reeled him back in. He's back again. Then we look at the field summary. Blaze Alexander still in 5th. Bob Hills in 4th. Dave Blaney, Andy Hillenberg, Mark Stahl, Ricky Ware, and Billy, and Frank Kimmel, the 10th place car. 5 laps down.
And there you see Bowser. Even though he's 7 laps down, every time somebody drops out, it moves up another position. But as long as Hillenberg's out there running, well, you know, the championship is Hillenberg's.
Mark Thompson, who had a great run going prior to having his troubles and tagging the wall. See Jimmy Horton back in 33rd position once again. Reports are that Jimmy is okay. He was taken by life flight to a nearby hospital. He has a swollen eye and obviously going to be bruised and sore, but that tumble he took in turn 2, that violent impact, able to walk away, a tribute to how well these cars are built. We're told the car number 0, Delmar Coward, has come back out of the garage area and is back in the race. Talk about ARCA's had a great history here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We got a little bit of history here for you, VP.
Look at that 03 car. That is Richard Brickhouse, Ned.
Wow.
Remember, he won the very first race at Talladega Super Speedway in, what was that, 1969. And he lives over in Leland or out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and trying his hand back into racing again at 56 years old, trying to get a team going. So
now you see him out here racing. Does that make you want to get the fever and just come out of retirement and get back in the race car?
No, because I also saw Jimmy Horton crash coming off the second corner.
Okay, well, stay put.
Richard Brickhouse is currently running in 11th spot, started 38th. So.
And our point leader just got lapped a moment ago. Hillenberg in the car number 11. There's a 21. He is being shown in 7 laps down in 13th position. So he continues to climb as cars fall back.
Now, Hillenberg, even though he went a lap down, he still is in 7th place. He's in a lap by himself. Nobody else is is the next car, the 32 car, is another lap behind him. He is 2 laps down, Mark Stahl. So Hillenberg is still in good shape. He's riding now.
We might mention that Bobby Bowser may not win the championship by virtue of winning 6 poles this year. He wins a $10,000 AC Rapid Fire pole and win bonus from ARCA. So there is a lot of contingency money put up for the ARCA folks, and Bowser will pick up that 10 grand. Here's the 8th place car on pit road.
There's Mark Stahl that Ned was talking about just a moment ago. Petron Plus automobile.
Now, he was already 2 laps down. With this pit stop, he'll go at least another lap down. But this should be his last pit stop of the day. He should be able to go the distance from here. 47 laps to go.
And we talk about people winning all this money. 10,000 that goes to this guy, 10,000 to that guy. Back when you won the championship in 68, 69, did you have all those bonus plans, all that money coming to you?
Oh, yeah. Probably, you know, there were $100 and $200. I think I ended up getting about $5,400.
For the championship?
Yeah. And this champion will probably get $150,000, somewhere around $150,000. And these guys, Ned, they still are bumper to bumper practice.
Their cars, as you mentioned earlier, are very equal as they go around Bobby Bowser in the car number 21.
Well, the laps are winding down. What about the pit strategies here in the late laps? Let's check in first with Bill Weber.
Well, Jerry, Mike Skinner pitted on lap 112, and I talked to David Smith, who will be the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt next year. One of the men working on this crew here today. And he said what they wanted to do was to get at least 46 laps before they came in and got fresh tires. That would leave 46 laps remaining. The key to that is the most green flag laps, or the most laps they put on a set of tires so far today was 27. So they didn't know how the car would be handling. They said it was all up to Mike. I just checked with Will Lynn, who was the championship crew chief in Mike's Super Truck. He said the car's fine, they're doing fine, and they passed that 46 lap mark. Let's go down pit road for more strategy from John Kernan.
Well, as far as Tim Steele and Joe Besti go, they're kind of on the same type of ride right now. We're looking at pit stops for them between lap 175 and lap 180 to 185. Now, whether they would come in and take on 4 tires, 2 tires, or fuel only to get them to the finish, that's something their crews will not give up. But I'm sure that what Mike Skinner does, if he will be the first to pit among the 3 front runners, that will dictate what the other 2 teams would do.
Well, that window they were talking about for Mike Skinner, 46 laps would have put him in around lap 158. As you heard Bill say, they've gone past that mark 3 laps ago, so we are showing 161 laps complete. They on fuel could go to lap 175, which is what John Kernan was saying that possibly Besti and Steele will do. So that could set up quite a pit stop on that last, if we stay green.
And Steele should be able to go farther because he made a pit stop after the others, so he should be able to go even farther than the others. And I think the advantage there would be possibly catching a caution. So it will be interesting if they all do have to stop. Well, and when we assume that they do all have to stop, is when they do it.
There's 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 4th place car, the red 46, Bob Hill, Blaze Alexander, the black number 26, and the 80, the yellow car, Dave Blaney, is the 6th place car. Those last 3 cars in the lead lap, and we see that Bessie, once again, is right on the back bumper of Tim Steele. And we see the 21 car, once again, very slow. I guess that wasn't a 21. That was Frank Kimmel, I saw. Thought it was a
Bowser car. Had a report, Denny, that maybe Mike Skinner was about ready to come into the pits. He didn't come that time. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he does come in here the next time around.
And if you look at Skinner's pits, they have the pit board up, the big 3, black 3. That is the Goodrich crew. That's actually the crew that'll be servicing Dale Earnhardt in 1996. You know, Andy Petry's leaving, so they got the crew. They're basically getting some practice here. You see, then they have tires up on the wall, and indeed Skinner is off the pace down below the white line, and he will come down pit road at 55 miles an hour. Let's go down to the Skinner pits.
And they're waiting for Mike Skinner to bring his car down pit road. The race leader slowly coming down pit road. That is expected to be a 4-tire change. Working lap 165 here in Atlanta, and Skinner has arrived. They go around to the right side. Chocolate Myers working the fuel can. Right side tires are off. Now they're going to come around, and they will make the 4-tire change. So Mike Skinner's going to have 4 tires, and right now the leaders of the race behind by Tim Steele and Joe Bessie, while Mike Skinner sits on pit road. They both are on the left side tire, drop the jack, and takes off, trying to catch the leaders after a 21.2-second pit stop.
Not a bad pit stop. Remember, David Smith, who is normally the jack man for Earnhardt, he'll be the co-crew chief next year because he won't be jacking the car. And Andy Petrie, who changes the front tire, he'll be gone. So they got a couple of new members there.
Mike Moore will be the jack man in 1996, and here's Bessie trying to take the lead. Can't do it. From Tim Steele. What do you think? Those guys are ran for a caution flag right now, Ned, because they have the 31 car a lap down now.
Yeah, they got him a lap down. He's in 6th position. But, yeah, I'd say they're looking for a caution flag now. If they plan to change tires, how much faster will those new tires be than these, and how much time will Skinner gain on them while they're staying out there running, if they are running a slower speed? And that normally is the case, that new tires would run faster. And so they might make an equal pit stop but still be way behind when they would come out if they change 4 tires. I'm going to predict that the 16 car would not change all 4 tires. He just got passed there, though. And maybe he would, but he did take on 4 tires much later than did the others.
I think if he has to stop, it would be 1 can of fuel. Let me see Blaze Alexander, and he ran over the air hose. Look out, look out! And there's the jack. The jack going down pit road.
And it's still on there.
And he still has the jack. The jack. There's the caution flag. This is the flag, going to be a caution flag that they're looking for.
Yeah, because that jack's going to be somewhere on the racetrack.
Part of the handle looks like that holds the pit board. It's a handle attached to the pit board, but obviously that doesn't belong out there either. So he is Blaze Alexander, the young man, having a great run, but he left the pits with more than he came in with. Of course, that sign and part of the air hose he ran over.
Of course, they'll black flag him and have him to come back in. Now, whether that thing will stay on there until he comes back in.
Caution flag. They've thrown the caution flag, but we can't have that thing around there.
The caution's out now.
Yes, yes.
So they did wave the caution flag that time by, and they will try to get Blaze Alexander to come back in and return the pit equipment to the pit crew.
So this is the break that Tim Steele and Joe Bessie were looking for. Only 4 cars now on the lead lap.
And we are told a couple of crew members have gotten hurt down there in the 26th pit when they were leaving. So because of the hurry and things that they ran over the hose, and then of course that sign was pulled right out of one guy's hand. So they are attending to those. Meanwhile, we're under caution because of that debris that's being carried behind the Blaze Alexander car.
Man. You ever see one fellow sitting on the ground? There's another one being attended to. Man.
Yeah, that's the type of situation can hurt you.
That's exactly why NASCAR now has 2 pit guns. Only 2, because they were leaving that third one laying on the pit road as it went around to help. And NASCAR said, we're not going to leave guns laying on pit road.
And they have black flagged the 26 car, and we are told by the ARCA officials they are pulling his scorecard. They are not going to score him any more laps. And they're still, see, the air handle is still hanging beneath the car.
The impact wrench, the gun is wrapped around, the hose is wrapped around the rear housing, and the gun is still attached to it.
Great camera shot. That's Blaze Alexander. What a tough break. And let's check in their pits with Bill Weber. Bill, how's those crew members down there?
Well, they're getting some medical attention right now. It is a couple of crew guys are down, and we're waiting for some of the medical attention to arrive here. So there are 2 crew guys that were injured when Blaze took off, and we'll get you an update here as soon as we can.
Well, there he comes down pit road, dragging the hose and the impact wrench.
But there also is Joe Bessie and Tim Steele coming down pit road to make a scheduled pit stop under the caution flag. And now Skinner is a lap down, isn't he? I think Skinner is.
Yes, he did go a lap down when he made the green flag pit stop.
Let's go to the pits and John Kernan.
Well, what a break for Tim Steele and his crew. If they did not get this caution, they were only going to change right side tires. So now they get the caution flag to change 4. They come around to work to the left side. I look at Joe Bessie. The left side tire's already coming off. Tim Steele's car just going up the jack. Looks like Bessie will probably beat him out on pit road. Tightening the left side light. That's on both cars. Steele does, and he's going to beat Bessie as they had a little bit of a problem with the left side tires on Joe Bessie. And I thought sure Bessie's crew was going to get him out before Steele's because they had jacked up that left side and had the tires off first. But Steele's crew really rallied on that left side and got the tires off and on. very fast, and he wins that race on pit road.
And Dave Blaney will come out third, and Bob Hill will come out fourth.
We're under caution for the ninth time today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Laps are winding down. There is Joe Bessie. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State. The intelligent oil for hard-working engines.
Now, take home a legend. Get an authentic autographed Superstar lithograph. A $30 value, just $7.50. See details on cases of 4x4 at your local supplier.
You know, a lot of people who work on their cars will only shop at AutoZone. They depend on us for the best quality parts and low prices every day. They come in, get what they need, and then get back to work. Because you see, they believe if you want the job done right, you do it yourself. Well, at AutoZone, we couldn't agree more. Because when you take the time and the effort to work on your car yourself, you ought to be choosy about where you shop. We just thank you for choosing AutoZone.
Yes! Come on! Hello? Here to fix that leaky faucet. Yeah, Frankie, it's in the kitchen. What are you guys watching? We're watching college football.
Oh, this is great. This is great, huh?
Thanks to ABC College Football on ESPN pay-per-view, your ticket to the best gridiron action is just a phone call away. Catch blockbuster matchups that you can't see in your local area.
Hey, Bill, sit down. I heard you guys had the game on. Oh, man, look at this. You guys got any more beer?
Oh, give him a beer.
Coming up on SportsCenter, the Bulls and Magic clash in a battle of Eastern powers. The Rangers pay a visit to their old skipper. Would be a friendly one, and the big unit's big-time season pays off. SportsCenter at 11 Pacific.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in this ESPN program.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, there are the cars up front. Tim Steele, the leader. The ARCA Series has finished, had its finale here in Atlanta 12 consecutive years. There have been 12 different winners. And Tim Steele would be the 13th different winner in this finale if he can hang on. Our field summary shows you there are 5 cars on the lead lap.
There's Steele, Bob Hill, Joe Bessie, Mike Skinner, Dave Blaney.
Andy Hillenberg, just one lap down there. We see 16 through 30. And look at all the cars from 19 on back. All those cars out of the race. Jeremy Mayfield, who ran so well back in 25th spot. L.W. Miller, 27th. And there's a remainder. Stanton Barrett finishes 31st. Glenn Brewer, 37th, who's getting married next Saturday. And Gary Bradbury, 41st. Mark Gibson, 42nd. Well, they're starting to move the vehicles away from the scene down in turn 1, so I would guess about the next time by, we'll be going back green flag racing, and I would think about any time right now, we can, pretty soon we can congratulate the 1995 ARCA Bondo Barhide champion, Andy Hillenberg.
He should be the champion right now.
That's exactly what we were told by the ARCA officials at lap 193. It would become official. He would clinch it. So officially from us at ESPN, for the young man from Charlotte, North Carolina, who lives in Charlotte, the Terre Haute First National Bank Chevy, Andy Hillenberg, who won the season opener in Daytona. That was our first telecast of the year for ESPN Speed World, and the ARCA 200. Congratulations to Andy Hillenberg.
There he is. He's inside that 11. Oh, there that's the 11th car. He's inside there somewhere.
He has run a good, smart race here today.
Yes, he has. And once again, as I did in 1968, I finished about 5th or 6th that day. Didn't try to win the race. I tried to win the championship. And that's what Hillenberg has tried to do today, win the championship.
You know, he won at Daytona. That means he led the points the entire year. 16 top 10 finishes. We'll make it 17 today. 8 top 5s. Make it 9 today. 2 wins. Didn't get a pole this year, but didn't have to. He did his racing on race day, not on qualifying day.
He's the general manager of the Fast Track Race Driving School.
That's a Lumina that you look. That's not the Monte Carlo. That's a Lumina Chevrolet.
And they will give the signal 1 to go next time by, so we're going to have somewhat of a shootout here in these final 10 laps. 204 laps will comprise this 500-kilometer event. Glad to have you with us. Bill Weber, John Kernan, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, yours truly, Jerry Punch. On a crisp and cool and somewhat blustery day here in Atlanta. Had showers this morning. The clouds have moved away. The sun came out, but it has gotten considerably cooler than it was the past couple of days here in central Georgia.
Now, fans, if you wonder, well, how did we know that he was the champion? Because Bobby Bowser's still out there running. If Andy Hillenberg quit right now, if he pulled into the garage area, he still would finish in front of Bobby Bowser. So the championship is his.
There we see Timmy Steele weaving his car back and forth, trying to get all the debris, all the little stones and pebbles off his tires, so when he goes in turn 1, he'll be able to grip the racetrack.
And behind him is Bob Hill. You're riding along, that's his roof cam. Jim Dandy sponsorship there. The munching you hear in the background is John Kernan eating that dog food he got earlier down there munching on. But that was the subject of our track facts. Tim Steele the leader. Bob Hill in second. Bessie, then Skinner, then Blaney. 5 cars in the lead lap for a 10-lap shootout here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a way to end the year in ARCA competition.
I think this is going to be exciting, guys.
Getting some great jumps as he does again.
Boy, he really, and Bob Hill might be the key here. Those other cars have been faster than he all day long, that he might hold them up enough here that Steele can get away. And here comes Skinner.
Skinner trying to make it to the inside. He's by Bessie. Now see if he'll try it on the outside around Hill.
He knows he can't waste any time. He's got to pass this car in a hurry if he's going to have any shot to catch Tim Steele before this race ends. But Bob Hill, he wants him a second place finish here too, if possible.
Bob Hill was 4th here last November, and look at Steele. He's still pulling away.
Bob Hill keeps Skinner behind.
Well, I tell you, that car was fast on that straightaway. Bob Hill.
That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there. Tim Steele, the leader, about 12 car lengths ahead of that group.
Dave Blaney, the 5th place car, is a pretty good distance back. He's going to ride it out and try to get in the top 5, which is an excellent accomplishment.
Richard Childers told Mike Skinner that time, let the car drift up a little bit higher coming off turn 2. See if you can't get some momentum down that straightaway to roll alongside of Bob Hill, because his car, Bob Hill's car, is running so well down the straightaway.
And I expect the 9 car running as close as he is to Skinner is taking a little bit of air off, making Skinner's car a little bit loose. He's sitting there in some, what you might say, bad air, or what the race drivers and crews call. Here he comes, though. Whoop, thought he had him that time.
He touches in contact, and Hill goes around, loops it once, twice, 3 times, and he slides down the backstretch. Caution will come out. Blaney gets on the brakes, and we are told they're going to black flag. They may black flag one of the cars up front. There is Bob Hill, and there's a 31 of Mike Skinner, who was trying to make a move inside of Bob Hill, and there was some contact, and Hill went around.
And the black flag is coming out. Or at least one of the officials on the starter stand has a black flag in his hand.
And we see that Bob Hill has his car going again. He's up in 3 and 4. He still is not a lap down, but...
Oh my, how quickly. There's the 31 being posted on the board, and they are going to black flag him. Here's a replay.
He comes off the corner. I don't know. I couldn't see the contact there, but... And Hill's car comes, we can see some damage to the left rear, so I don't know if that damage was from before or not, but there's some damage to the left rear of that car.
Now, Bessie got him as he went by, just nicked him. Let's look again.
I guess that's what happened. I guess Bessie is who hit the rear of the car.
As he was going around, Bessie's Chevrolet just caught the edge and pulled some of the sheet metal. Hard to tell if there was contact.
I couldn't see it.
They're given the 1 to go. And here comes Skinner down pit road to honor the black flag.
Let's see, maybe we can see it from here.
Boy, I'm not sure there was.
It was awfully difficult to tell. You know, maybe taking the air off the spoiler would cause it to, the back end to come around.
Let's check into Skinner pits. Bill Weber with Richard Childress.
And Richard, your car has been black flagged. He had a good race going. What had your view of this?
The car was pushing off the corners, and he just pushed up. He said he touched him a little back there. That was racing, you know, it's the way it goes.
Okay, and they have black flagged you. Your car sitting here on pit road behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Richard Childress. Mike Skinner sitting here. The car's still running. Less than 1 lap to go, being held by the ARCA official. And Mike Skinner will not win here today.
Well, they're not contesting it, and Richard Childress said that Mike Skinner said he did touch him, so...
Got to admire their honesty anyway. You see the ARCA official holding Mike Skinner, and they said the car had a push. Remember, they put those fresh tires on. Now they're contesting who's where up front.
Well, Bob Hill is, I mean, he can't pass those cars that are on the same lap with him, can he, Ned?
I didn't think so.
The pits, I guess.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, he can do that. He can come down pit road. Caution is still out.
Now they're waving the caution again. Is it? Now they turn the lights back on the safety car, and I guess they got to bring Hill down pit road to reset those flaps on top of the car.
Sure. They also got to put 4 tires on it. I mean, they had, as he spun back there, he had to flat spot the tires. And we talked about, now we see the damage to the left rear of the car. I guess that's when the 9 car went by. The right front tire is flat on that car. See, the right front is completely flat.
Now remember, horse racing coming up next. America's Horse, ESPN2's Racing Challenge with Chris Lincoln. That's from San Antonio, Texas, coming up, followed by highlights of yesterday's Winston Cup qualifying. And we'll come back here as well with the interviews. Of course, highlights of yesterday's pole qualifying and all the stories that are going on in NASCAR Winston Cup as a prelude to our live coverage of the Napa 500. The 38 special concert has been rescheduled. It'll be tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. So we'll have that for you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. That 38 special concert here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll get this one finished. Once again, if you just joined us, Andy Hillenberg has won the 1995 ARCA Bondo Marhat Series Supercar Championship. That has been decided. And in 3 laps, we're going to decide who wins the finale.
And they're pushing Mike Skinner's car back up pit road. Apparently, it's going to take him right out of the race. He's still going to finish about 6th, though. They're going to just park it. I think that was a crew choice, not an ARCA official choice.
And the green flag waves once again. And boy, what a scramble up front.
Now, could Joe Bessie, he's been able to run pretty well all day long. Can he catch Tim Steele? Steele, once again, gets that great start. But the 80 cars, Dave Blaney, remember, he spun earlier.
He went around twice today, so, boy, wouldn't that be something if he came back and could hang on. Here is Steele, and they will get the white flag this time by Doyle Ford and Hank Wetzel on the flag stand. One more revolution, and Tim Steele will make it a 3-sweep, a 3-peat here in the final 3 events of ARCA for 1995. There's a look at the 1993 ARCA champion. Won at Winchester, he won at Salem. And for the 13th consecutive year, the ARCA finale will go to a different winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway as he comes out of turn 4, and Tim Steele will take the victory. In the ARCA General Tire Hoosier 500, Joe Bessie finishes 2nd, and Dave Blaney in 3rd.
And Andy Hillenberg is the 1995 champion. There you go. Way to go, Andy.
And Andy gets him a top 5 finish here. Finishes in 5th place to take the championship.
And Bobby Bowser will finish 10th, 9 laps down. Hillenberg was, in fact, 1 lap down to the leader. The winner of the race, Tim Steele.
So once again, we congratulate our winner, Tim Steele. We'll be back with more from Atlanta Motor Speedway after this.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's a real hero, like me.
Save a page of new comic strip classic stamps.
A fine likeness.
At your post office, or call for a catalog. When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's the one you've been waiting for.
The Maryland stamp, now at your post office. Or call for a catalog.
I found this men's journal under his pillow. Now I know where the excitement in our life comes from. Men's journal covers everything better, from toning up his abs to tuning up our sex life. Men's journal tells you everything about living life better.
Hey!
Subscribe to Men's Journal for only $11.97 and get this 200-page equipment guide absolutely free.
Call 1-800-705-3838. That's 1-800-705-3838.
From Darlington to Talladega, through Daytona, Rockingham, and Watkins Glen. In every major NASCAR race, Busch Beer recognizes the pole winner with the Busch Pole Award. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, everyone follows the leader. Busch Beer, proud sponsor and official beer of NASCAR.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later.
Buy any 2 Fram filters and get your favorite officially licensed NFL team cap for $1.99.
Back in Atlanta, our official results for the ARCA General Tire Hoosier 500. Tim Steele the winner, Bessie, Blaney, and Hill in the top 4, along with Hillenberg, our champion, finishing 5th.
Mike Skinner was credited to his 6th place, although he did not run the last 5 or 6 laps. Mark Stahl, there we see the top 30. Harris Devane is tied, actually, for the rookie battle this year with Dale Whittemore. So Dale Whittemore, we'll see who wins. Stanton Barrett was 31st, and Mark Gibson 42nd.
Let's go to Victory Lane and Bill Weber.
And Tim Steele is about to get out of his car after winning here at Atlanta this afternoon. Tim Steele climbs out of the car with a great victory here this afternoon. And there you see he stands high on the window. Tim, come on down here. Congratulations. That's a great race for you. Great win.
Thank you. You know, Richard Childers, Mike Skinner, and I mean everybody. It was a tough race. This definitely was no gimme, and you know we made some calls that were gambles, and you know Tom, my crew chief, it was his decision. I disagreed with him. He said just stick with me, and it all worked out, man. I can't say enough for those guys. They've done one heck of a job.
Tim Steele, the big winner here in Atlanta in this race, and Andy Hillenberg is the champion. Back up top.
Tim Steele out of Coopersville, Michigan, 1993 champion. And here's the 1995 champion, Andy Hillenberg, who now lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Terre Haute First National Bank Chevrolet. He started 10th and came home in 5th position, 1 lap down. And you think he's not a happy guy, guys? He is absolutely ecstatic.
He is delighted.
Coming up next, America's Horse, ESPN2's Racing Challenge from San Antonio, Texas. We'll go out there with host Chris Lincoln. And, of course, back here tomorrow, our live coverage of the Napa 500 NASCAR Winston Cup event. For Bill Weber, John Kernan, Benny Parsons, and Ned Jarrett, I'm Jerry Putz. Once again, congratulating Andy Hillenberg, the 1995 ARCA champion.